Hey everyone, Joseph Onesta, type 2 mentor here, not a doctor, no medical advice. Today, this is episode four, five, episode five of our Your Taste Buds Have Been Hijacked or Hacked series. This is the next to the last one. The next one is the last one. So if you want to get in on it, make sure you like and subscribe. Anyway, point is, we're talking about restaurants today. So if I ask you, what is the number one reason for a restaurant to exist? If you say anything other than making money, wake up and smell the coffee. Now, I suppose there are chefs, real chefs out there who are dedicated to making the most wonderful dining experience. But anybody who owns a restaurant knows that if this restaurant doesn't make money, they're out of business. So the number one goal of a restaurant is to make money. They have to pay for the space. They have to pay for the food that they get in. They have to pay for the food that gets wasted because people didn't buy it. They have to pay for all of the people that work there. They have to pay for the equipment and the tables and the chairs. They're going to pay for a lot of stuff. So the profit margin on a cover, that is an individual person eating at the restaurant, has to be substantial. It can't be minimal. And chances are you're not going to a restaurant where there is a real chef in person who goes shopping that morning to see what is fresh and available and then creates the menu for that day. You see, if you're going to eat seasonally, menu planning is a little more difficult, a little more complicated. And there are restaurants like that, but you're going to spend a lot of money when you go there, and it's going to be a lot of money for a little bit of food, which, not for nothing. It may be well worth the experience. Anyway, so they're there to make money. What we need to understand is they want to make very tasty food because they want you to come back. They want to use the cheapest possible ingredients so that they make the most money, which means, okay, the oil that they're frying things in is cheap. All right. The ingredients that they're using are cheap. And when you get to fast food, not only do they want it to be cheap, they want you in and out of there fast because the more people they serve, the more money they make. Now, in some restaurants, particularly those high-end ones with the chef, that they don't care if you're there for an hour, not three or four, an hour. And by the way, if you're hanging out at a table, that server, that person who's serving you food is losing out on cover tips. So for, I would say, every half hour or 45 minutes that you're sitting at that table, just sort of kibitzing and talking and having fun, you might want to increase that tip just because they're having trouble. They need you to leave so somebody else could sit there. But thinking about restaurants, most restaurants, with the exception of those very, very high end ones, and they still have to make money, they're not really interested in your gastronomical experience beyond did you like it and leave. So, convenience, taste. Does that sound familiar in this series? Taste and convenience. That's what they're all about. Cheap ingredients. So I don't care what they say about their food. Oh, it's always fresh. I don't, do you really believe that? And when you're in a restaurant and there are a lot of items on the menu, I'm here to tell you that most of that is frozen. It's not fresh. And a lot of it may come actually, particularly in chain restaurants, pre-packaged. So basically, you're eating a microwave meal and paying 3 or 4 times the price. So just letting you know, and considering that your health is not their number one concern, quite frankly, your exposure to restaurants may need a little adjustment if you're going on a health journey. And oh no, Joseph, I don't go to restaurants. I get meal plans delivered, and all I have to do is either heat them up, put them in a special oven that I have to buy so I can cook it right, or I actually have to cook it. They've pre-packaged all of these separate ingredients so that I get to cook it. So I'm eating fresh cooked food. Really? Seriously? And you're not paying for the plastic that it comes in. You're not paying for the shipping. Oh, it's free shipping. Who pays for it? It's you. And in order for them to give you free shipping, they got to buy cheaper ingredients and pay people less to package that and get cheap packaging. I'm sorry, that's business. When I was in the business world, the phrase, well, there are business reasons for this, made anything unethical or immoral almost fall off the table. And I hate to say it, business is business. I'm in my own private practice. That technically is a business. I have to make money to keep my office open. This is just what it is. So maybe, just maybe, instead of the convenience and the taste of restaurant food, and have you ever heard the phrase restaurant quality? My head spins because that means tasty but not healthy. All right. So here's what I want you to know. Cut down on the restaurants. Start cooking a few meals at least a week. Bring your lunch to work. Eat good food. And just to close this, I want you to know that I'm about to start a series, a rather lengthy series, where we look at menus of different restaurants. And I tell you what I would eat if I went to that restaurant. That doesn't mean that's what you should eat, but it means this is if I had to go to that restaurant, what would I eat there? And what do I know about it? How is that? And I'm telling you, every restaurant I go to, there is just a little bit of a compromise in terms of quality and health, just a little bit. If you're interested in that, like or subscribe so you know when it drops. Anyway, Joseph Onesta, Type 2 Mentor here. I am so glad you are accompanying me on this journey toward health. See you soon. Bye.